Michael Jamin writer, how would it work if a showrunner works on 2 or more shows at the same time? Okay, so showrunner is more than a full-time job. It's a full-time job and a half. And the most important part of the job and the most difficult part of the job is running the writer's room, because it all starts with the script. There's a lot of writing and rewriting. If the script isn't good, what else do you have, right? But then there's also editing, because you can make or break a show in editing, but then there's also casting. You got to have a good cast, but then there's also dealing with the network. Like, you can't ignore their phone calls, but then there's also dealing with problems on set, because if you don't capture the show the way you want, the performances on film, then what? And so you literally have to be 2 places at the same time when you're a showrunner. I don't know how people who do it who are only like one person. I have a writing partnership, so we can trade responsibilities. But when you're one person, what do? Very often, that showrunner will delegate work. And so they will say, and very often what they delegate is the running the writer's room. I just changed locations. In the business, we call that a push move as opposed to a company move. Anyway, I'll get to that some other time. So often showrunners will leave the writer's room and delegate the number 2, the co-executive producer, to run the writer's room. And they'll take off for a couple hours and put out whatever fire that needs to be put out. And then they come back, and this happens all the time, and they don't like the work that was done in the writer's room, and they take everything off the board. And this is well within their rights. It's their show. But it's also very demoralizing to the writing staff, because everyone else liked it, right? And all right, now we got to start over again. It's kind of like wasted time. It's demoralizing. Often when my writing partner and I, when we run a show, he'll stay in the writer's room, which again is the hardest, most important part. And I'll do the other stuff, which is equally important, but not nearly as important at the same time. And then when I come back to the writer's room, like maybe I'll direct the actors if it's an animated show or whatever, I'll go to the set, deal with all that stuff. When I come back to the writer's room, after being gone for several hours, if I have small notes, whatever, I'll take care of those small notes. But if I have big problems with the work that's done, guess what I do? I shut the F up. Because if I want, and this has only happened once, so it's not a big deal, but I don't want to bring down the room. I don't want to demoralize my writing partner. I just shut up. I just deal with it if I don't like it. And again, it's only happened one time. So that's how you keep a happy relationship with your writing partner. That's how you don't piss them off. I got a weird light on me. Is that an angel? So how do showrunners manage to run 2 shows at the same time? Well, currently, like most shows are like 10 or 13 episodes a season. What's probably happening is they're running one show and they have another show, and those schedules don't overlap. Or if they do overlap, it's minimal. So they can do 2 shows in the same season. Back in the day, that would be much harder if you're doing 22 episodes in a season. So that's probably what's happening. Sorry, now I'm hearing angel music, like harps. Should I be worried about that? So what often happens is 2 shows by the same showrunner might air at the same time, but it doesn't mean they were shot at the same time, okay? But if the showrunner truly has 2 shows on that's being shot at the same time, very often, this is how I think it's probably being done. The showrunner is running one show and they have someone else running a second show, but they come in every once in a while. Maybe if they spend an hour a day to give notes or whatever, problem solve or whatever, but someone else is probably doing the day-to-day business of running the other show, because you literally can't be 2 places at the same time. It's a really stressful job, super important job. Hope that helps. For more, keep following me at Michael Jamin Writer.